They call me the evil banker. They don't call me the evil doctor. But at Valeant, we did both. You see, medicine isn't about healing. It's about margins. And in our world, a pill isn't a cure, it's a commodity. We didn't treat patients. We monetize them. Imagine a world where the cure costs more than the disease, where the man prescribing your drug is also the man setting its price, where pain has a price tag and compassion is a line item on a balance sheet. That was our world. That was Valeant Pharmaceuticals, a company that made billions, not by inventing new drugs, but by acquiring old ones and raising their prices to the moon. We didn't fix people. We fixed the market. In the late 2000s, the pharmaceutical industry was sluggish. R&D was expensive, risky, and unpredictable. So we asked the obvious question: why invent something new when we can just buy what already works and charge 10 times more for it? Under our visionary CEO, Michael Pearson, we went on a shopping spree. We bought over 100 companies. We devoured smaller firms like a shark circling a school of fish. Each acquisition added new drugs to our portfolio and new opportunities to bleed patients dry. We told investors we had a revolutionary model. We'd slash research budgets, fire scientists, and raise prices. Wall Street loved it. The stocks skyrocketed. Because when you promise eternal growth without risk, people stop asking how you make the money they just want in. Our secret weapon was simple: control. We didn't discover drugs. We monopolized them. Once we owned the patent, we dictated the price. If someone needed that medicine to live, well, that was leverage. And leverage is power. A bottle that cost $100 last year could cost $1,000 this year. A cream that treated acne became a luxury item overnight. And every time someone cried foul, we smiled. Because the outrage meant people were still buying. But greed alone doesn't build a $90 billion empire. You need illusion. You need smoke and mirrors. So we created Philidor RX, a mail-order pharmacy that wasn't ours, at least on paper. In reality, it was our puppet. Philidor helped us bypass insurance restrictions and pump up our reported sales. If an insurer refused to pay, Philidor found creative ways to make sure the claim went through. Sometimes the numbers didn't even have to be real. Phantom sales, circular transactions, early revenue recognition, you name it, we tried it. Inside Valeant, we didn't call it fraud. We called it financial engineering. And in the world of Wall Street, that's almost a compliment. Revenue exploded. Analysts cheered. Our CEO was hailed as a genius. Magazine covers called us the future of pharma. And behind the scenes, we were laughing because we knew exactly how fragile it all was. We weren't a pharmaceutical company. We were a hedge fund disguised as one. Our product wasn't medicine, it was confidence. As long as investors believed in the story, the numbers didn't have to make sense. We even slashed R&D to just 3% of revenue. The industry average was 20%, but no one cared. We were delivering profits quarter after quarter. And on Wall Street, consistency is holiness. Doctors complained. Patients screamed. Politicians asked, "How can you justify these price hikes?" We shrugged and said, "Market forces." We threw around words like efficiency, innovation, synergy, and they nodded. Because that's what people do when they don't understand what you're saying, but they're afraid to look stupid. Then came the collapse. It always does. In 2015, a short seller named Citron Research published a report accusing us of fraud. They called Philidor a phantom pharmacy and compared us to Enron. Investors panicked. The stock plummeted, and suddenly, the world that worshipped us wanted blood. The SEC opened investigations. Congress dragged our executives to testify. News anchors who once praised us now spat our name like poison. In a matter of months, our $90 billion empire was worth less than $10 billion. It wasn't just money that vanished, it was trust. And trust, once lost, is worth less than a penny stock. Our CEO, the man who built the dream, went from Wall Street hero to villain overnight. He denied everything, of course. We all did. We said Philidor was just an independent partner, that we were victims of misunderstanding, of media hysteria, of jealous competitors. But the documents, the emails, the invoices, they told another story. Eventually, we had to restate $58 million in fake revenue. It was just the tip of the iceberg, but enough to destroy the illusion. The truth was out. Valeant had been propped up by manipulation, deceit, and greed. The market punished us. Our stock fell 90%. Investors lost fortunes. Bill Ackman, the billionaire hedge fund manager who bet big on us, lost over $4 billion. He called it the worst investment of my career. Inside Valeant, we called it Tuesday. You see, none of this shocked us. We always knew it would end this way. We just didn't care, because while everyone else lost, we had already cashed out. The lawsuits came next. Class actions, securities fraud, insurance disputes. In 2021, Valeant agreed to pay $1.21 billion to settle with investors, one of the largest settlements in pharmaceutical history. But for a company that once made billions from human misery, that was just a rounding error. To survive, we did what every disgraced company does. We changed our name. We rebranded as Bausch Health, pretending that the past was behind us. New logo, new mission statement, same DNA. But you can't scrub away a stain that deep. Every time a drug company raises prices, people whisper, Valeant. We became the benchmark for corporate evil. And honestly, that's a title I wear proudly, because Valeant wasn't an accident. It was the natural evolution of capitalism. When profit becomes God, ethics is just collateral damage. We didn't break the system, we exposed it. The beauty of it all is that people forget. Scandals fade. Executives retire. Stocks recover. The cycle restarts. A new name, a new logo, the same greed. Pharma learned our playbook. Buy, inflate, deny, rebrand, repeat. The truth is, we didn't need to cure diseases, we needed to cure quarterly reports. And for a while, we did. When you look back at Valeant, don't think of it as a failure. Think of it as a masterpiece of moral flexibility. We proved that you can sell pain as profit, lies as innovation, and exploitation as efficiency. And the market rewarded us until it didn't. People ask me if I feel guilt. Guilt? No. Guilt is for those who think they did something wrong. We didn't do wrong. We did what worked. The world doesn't run on virtue. It runs on incentives. And we simply followed them to their logical conclusion. So when you open your next prescription, and the price makes you wince, remember, you're not paying for a cure. You're paying for confidence, leverage, and someone's yacht. You're paying for Valeant, even if the name on the bottle has changed. Because money doesn't die, it just reinvents itself. And so do we. Cheers.